Hi everyone, I'm Jarka from Design by Life, and this is episode number 7 of Mindset Matters. And today I've got the wonderful Belinda Smith from om.com.au with me. Belinda is a power duo with another co-owner of her business, also called as Belinda, and they oftentimes refer to themselves as the two Belindas in the renovation game. Thank you so much for being with us, Belinda. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well. Thank you, Jarka. Yourself?
I'm really great. So excited to chat to you today.
Yeah, me too.
So for those who don't know you, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about your business and how you got started.
I'm Belinda Smith, as you said before. I'm now 52 years of age, and my best friend is Belinda Westblade, and she's the same age. We grew up together. In fact, our mums were pregnant together, so that's how we actually know each other.
Wow.
And along our married lives, my husband and I have been renovating homes and investing, and Belinda and her husband have their own renovation business. And so we'd always compared notes and chatted together and had this common interest all through our lives and been best friends. Belinda was bridesmaid at my wedding, all that sort of stuff. So we've been friends forever. And one day we were sitting down together and said, well, you know, we'd heard about all this online business, education packages and people sharing their knowledge and following their passions and doing what they truly love. And so we thought, is there some way that we can turn what we love into a business? And we thought we might open up a homewares store because we love design, decor, home improvement, the whole thing, just the whole thing about creating a beautiful home. Mm-hmm. So we jumped on Facebook and started a Facebook page and called it Homewares, and we, sent money to a web designer to have a shop put up, which ended up a bit of a disastrous experience. But in the meantime, because we were talking so much about renovation and dealing with tradesmen and our day-to-day things and, you know, what to paint and how to do this and what paint to use on different surfaces and how to recover lounges, just everything around home improvement, we became quite popular quite quickly, and we were offering just so much information for free just because we like to chat about it anyway. We run a renovation consultancy where we help people hands-on with their projects with as little help or as much help as they need.
Fantastic. That sounds like someone I would need. We're just about to renovate our bathroom, and it is just so daunting because most of the tradesmen, I mean, they're called tradesmen for a reason, right? They're all men, and this is a very, very masculine environment. And oftentimes I think there's still this degree of cliche surrounding it that women don't really know much about renovating, and therefore they're an easy target to be taken advantage of. So I am really grateful to see that you, two women, are tackling this particularly masculine environment and a topic of renovation and helping other females and other people that would want to go into this space and educate them around what it is that certain things cost and, you know, where to find good builders. So I think it's something that's in demand and good for you guys for recognizing that gap in the market. But no doubt it wasn't all just easy and, you know, from one day to another you have a successful business. So my next question would be, just how hard was it to get started and get into this area for you as two women?
I think the whole key behind our success, and I shared with you privately that we have big things coming, which is so exciting, but basically is just providing good value, just being true. We're two 50-year-old women. We don't look 25. We don't have hot legs anymore.
Oh, stop it, Belinda.
we are as we are. And we're just true to ourselves, and we share what we know really freely. If somebody asks us the paint colour, we don't send them to a website and charge them money for that sort of information. We just share what colour we've used on something, or if somebody wants some quick advice, we're happy to help. And so that's been absolutely crucial. It really has been a crucial part. It's all about being an authority figure is an easy thing for us because we know our stuff, but it's more about being seen as knowing your stuff by other people, and that's because we share our stuff so freely.
So how do you do that? How do you share what you know?
Mainly on Facebook and social media. It really has been crucial for us to start with social media, and we can portray, for example, on our Instagram pages, is all full of beautiful photos, just the things we love, and the sort of styling that we like, so people can see what we like, and so they know what we're about. They know, what our taste is, and and Pinterest is a little bit the same. We work with our clients on Pinterest so that they can gather information together and put boards together, and we know what their style is, so we can work and apply their style, but also apply it to a project to get the best sales price, because that's where we're sort of profit driven really in the end for people in their homes. And most of our work comes from Facebook. In fact, we don't advertise, and we're inundated with clients. We can't keep up. We've had to put on, at this point, we've got 5 people working for us. So, and really, it's all been through social media.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm picking up is that the building of the trust obviously takes a bit of time, but it's also important that you put yourself out there and you share your knowledge with the best of intentions, with a kind heart and a genuinity that oftentimes lacks in this industry. I find, there's a lot of scheming and a lot of sort of ramping up the prices just because they can, because they're talking to someone who is not necessarily very well versed in the area of renovation. So I think what really stands out to me is that your way of building business is very heartfelt, because you genuinely want people to build heartfelt homes. So tell me a little bit about how this plays out in terms of securing business and then getting paid what you guys are worth. And have you had any problems or challenges around pricing yourself?
Oh, Belinda and I are very giving. We'd be happy not to charge ever. It's been a really difficult thing for us to put a price on our expertise and particularly per hour. And I actually had to take on a business coach, and he was quite chastising actually. He said, you girls should be charging blah, blah, blah. But like you said, we really do it. To be honest, we genuinely have made our income and money through renovations and flipping homes ourselves. We're okay. Belinda and I are okay. So there's a point in our lives where we think, okay, this is not all about the money, this journey of ours. We have big dreams, and those dreams are about reaching as many people as we can and helping people, look at their own homes differently or build equity or whatever they want. We want to gift people whatever they want to receive. And so it's been a difficult thing having to realise that there's cost involved in growing this business. There's website costs, and there's I've got a VA in Sri Lanka, and I've got people everywhere working for us, and they charge us a fee. So we need to charge our clients. We sit down every now and then and say, okay, what do we think we're going to have to charge to cover our costs? What do we feel comfortable charging? And what is okay to ask our clients to pay for? Now, our business coach said, you girls could be charging, tens of thousands of dollars. This is an example right now. There's a holiday home that Belinda Westblade has renovated from start to finish. It was a beaten up old 3-bedroom home, and she's turned it into a beautiful little coastal cottage that they will rent out for decent income and increase the equity by about $300,000. So my business coach said, why don't you charge a percentage of that equity gain? But in our heart of hearts, it's still a hard thing to charge money for that sort of stuff, because number one, we love the process. Number two, we're really happy to help our client. And number three, we're not greedy. We're just not greedy. So we upped our price per hour, but I said to the coach, we're not going to charge for equity gain.
That's so beautiful. I think, I'm just recalling the conversation we had just before we jumped online, and you said that something really, really beautiful came your way, and I immediately saw this amazing beam of light surrounding your face, and your eyes were sparkling, and you were just so happy. And you said, you know, something really amazing just happened. And I think oftentimes, yes, we are business owners and we still need to charge for what we provide as a service or a product.
Correct.
However, it doesn't necessarily need to be taken advantage of or into the extremes just because you can. You know, and
I agree.
This particular area of real estate is, in particularly in Australia and in capital cities, I think is just so blown out of proportion in terms of, you know, the value, and we're in this massive bubble and we've been in it for many, many years. And I think it's really unobtainable for a lot of people to actually purchase their own house or apartment. And changing that, I think it's not going to be just through some governmental policies, but I think it will also be through our behavior as people and citizens, and creating opportunities for those that, you know, potentially could maybe afford that house that needs renovating. And that's where you guys come in with the kind-hearted intention of helping them get there where they couldn't, meaning, you know, buying that brand new renovated house.
I agree.
And it's karma. It's karma, right?
I totally agree. Honestly, some of the things that have happened to Belinda and I have been so exciting along this journey. And I don't know, do they happen for a reason? Is it karma? Is it because we throw it out there to the universe? Is it because we're well-intended? I'm not quite sure. But I know that we're true to ourselves. We'll never cheat anybody. We do the right thing. We offer lots of information for free. People ask us to write. Here's an example. One of the guys, we were just blogging for people for free, you know, as everybody does. And we were contacted by one of the biggest online real estate firms, and they said, we're about to start up this renovation section. Would you girls like to head our section? We said, yes, sure. And he said, are you girls going to ask me what I'll pay you? And I said, no. I realise that this is such an amazing opportunity to get out there and share what we know and talk about our own little, you know, hits and misses with property. And he said that is just amazing because he'd contacted about 4 other people. It's a fabulous opportunity, but they wanted to charge big money, so he actually knocked them back. Now, from that's where we ended up in the Property Investor magazine. From that's where we ended up on Sky News Real Estate Show a few times. Our end goal is to help people create homes and environments and spaces that have meaning to them, in whatever capacity that be. When you walk into your home, your heart should just think, oh, I'm just, you know, that feeling, oh, just have a cup of coffee, I'm home now. That's what a home should feel like. And that doesn't have to be expensive. And I think our poor young kids are just sent so much information, presented with so much stuff from the media and the Kardashians about having this perfect world, and the world's not perfect. Affordability doesn't run like that.
So what I'm hearing is that value to you and to the people that you work with comes in different forms. And I'm a big believer that when you give and you have an open heart and a kind intention, that value in different forms than monetary will come your way. And I think this particular example that you mentioned around, you know, heading up a section for a particular real estate website, and then all these other opportunities coming from it, you know, that's free PR and marketing, right? And that is tremendous value, because if you had to go and pay for it, that costs a lot of money. So I guess it's a great reminder for anyone who is watching that value doesn't necessarily have to be translated into money, and that value comes into our lives in all sorts of different formats. And to have that open mind when you also work with other business owners, that whole degree of collaboration and you know, swapping services, that's definitely a reality that a lot of businesses in their especially in their first 2 to 3 years actually do. Would you say?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And you read things that, you know, where people say to get online and to get your businesses started, do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And we've just done that. We've just done it. Nothing more, nothing less. We've been patient, and I think patience is so important. And it's sometimes hard.
Yeah.
It might be easier for us because we're a little bit older, and like I said, we have been flipping homes for a few years, and so there's no urgency. I don't have young mouths to feed. Mine are old enough to feed themselves.
Yes.
So I think we have that advantage. It's much different, if you have tiny kids. I realise that. But the process, offline, like if we were to say, we looked at this homeware shop and we thought, okay, if we're going to get started online, we need to build our profile first. We need to then go and source product, and we will have an audience to provide that product to. If they want to buy, that's fine. If not. So we just sort of started thinking we'll just gather our audience. That's how it all began. Whereas the other way around, if you were opening up a shop, you go buy your product and then you go find your audience.
Yeah.
So online is just so different. But it is, as everyone said, and the opportunity we have now, can I tell you? Can I tell everyone?
Yeah, tell us.
We're going. One of the biggest property promoters we've been communicating with him for a little while, and we're going on the speaking circuit, which is just amazing.
Wow!
And we just say yes. People say, "Do you want to go and speak?" Yes, and then afterwards we think, "Oh, can we do it?" But that doesn't matter. We just say yes. So out of comfort zone, this whole thing. Even talking to you, and we're not very technically savvy, don't you, Jarka?
And like you said, patience, because I think that's what a lot of younger generation kids don't really have these days, because we live in this 24/7 always connected society, right? And we want results immediately. But patience is really what enables success, because hard work or any work really, even if it's not hard work, but work that's consistent over a number of days, weeks, months, and even years oftentimes, is what will bring that success, or that seemingly spontaneous achievement that looks like an iceberg, that you only really see the tip of the iceberg, but all the work underneath. And we all have challenges, and you mentioned the technical aspects of getting even this interview up. But when you realize what your weaknesses are, then you can also hire accordingly. You can get people to help you with that, and then you can shine in your zone of genius, which is you guys love speaking and sharing and working with people, and then you step into that more and more. And that's really that moving cog that propels your business forward. And then the support system in the background, supporting all those little elements that you may not really be so into, but are essential.
Yes. So, and even as a
go for it.
Even as a partnership, Belinda and I have had to recognise our own strengths and weaknesses. So you're exactly right. There are things we hire out. There are things I get Belinda to do that she's a creative. She's phenomenal at it. She can walk through a home and in a couple of minutes know exactly what she put where and what colours to choose, and she's just amazingly creative. To get her to sit down and say, let's write some information content is hard for Belinda, because she doesn't like to sit, whereas I'm more inclined to do the more business side of things. I'll take care of that. I've got a creative side, but I'm much happier doing the business side of things. So we've learnt to work with each other with our strengths and weaknesses as well.
And I was just about to ask you about that exact setup. Did you guys sit down and draft up a contract, or sit down and maybe outline roles and responsibilities? Or how did this come about, and what would you say to anyone who is thinking about starting a business with their friend? Like, what would be your advice?
Oh, I have lots of advice. We're close. Belinda and I are close, like sisters, we say. Our friendship was always going to come first. And so we sat down, and that was our first agreement, was if at any point we're not enjoying this, if it's not fun anymore, if it's not working for both of us, then we'll part ways, but our friendship will come first. Business is just business. So, but beyond that, we've set up a proper trust structure. a business structure through an accountant. And we also did a proper agreement that we sent off to our solicitors just to have a look at. We made the agreement up with things, if this happens, then that. What if this happens, then that? Yeah. So, who can buy someone out, and who can we introduce new people to the business? Little things. We had to think about all what could go wrong and then what we would do in those circumstances. And we just jotted a couple of pages of notes, sent them off to our solicitors, who said we'd really covered everything, just to sort of know. Even though we're best friends, we've been advised that that's the way to go, and I truly believe that is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, fantastic. So then that made it very easy and transparent for you guys to start the business. There was no bickering or anything like that, right? And
no.
And would you say that also then fast-tracked the growth and the growth of the actual business?
I think treating it as a business is what fast-tracked the business. Yes, it's fun, and yes, it is our passion, but we are always looking for what is the next step, and what is the next step, and what do we need to be doing next, and who do we need to reach out to next. And if we're going to blog for free, it's going to be worthwhile. Who's got a great audience that we can sit alongside with, and we can both benefit each other, and what will they expect, and can we meet their expectations? So it's very strategic.
Yeah.
It might seem like we might be the overnight success when everybody sees us on on this big speaking tour, but it's been a strategic. It's been a strategic growth. Yeah. It really has.
So, have you ever had to deal with any doubt or any challenges along the way in these last 2 years, and what were they?
Always. I think it's natural to doubt your own expertise every now and then, or to doubt that other people will find it worthwhile. It's not that you doubt what you know and can do. It's that other people will hold it, at a position of or a level of value. And I listen to. Whenever I start to feel like that, I will get out YouTube and I will listen to all my favourites, Tony Robbins, some of the internet marketers, the Frank Kerns, I could go on for days, but, So I will just stop my head from messing around, like my brain's like a monkey in a cage sometimes. So I have to just get calm, I get centred. I look after myself physically well. Belinda, she goes for her morning walks. We're very sort of ritualised. I have never felt happier and more fulfilled, even before we started to earn any money from this business, by just making baby steps, just by doing the baby steps. And people would say, do you want to come on a radio interview? And I'd say, yes. My heart saying, oh, no, I'm nervous. It's live radio. My head saying yes. And then I'd hang up the phone from being asked and think, oh, that's okay. I'm going to do it. And so we've just been doing it. We've just been saying yes, out of comfort zone, and the growth that we've both experienced at this time in our life, I just think that it's a gift. We're just so fortunate, and we're grateful to have this experience. It's been fun. It's been hard. It's been, I don't know, everything they say a new business is going to be, it has been. With its ups and its downs, and it's no income and it's lots of income, and I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can tell that you're passionate, and we spoke a few times before, and that love for what you do just really comes through so strongly. So you guys are gonna rock the stage. I have no doubts about it at all.
Wrinkles and all.
Yeah, just bring it on. And and what I love about you guys is that you really own who you are. You have no qualms about sharing your age. You have no qualms about sharing the ups and downs, and also being honest with yourself, knowing that, some days will be really scary, but what really sets us apart is that we're not giving up, and we keep going, and we're constantly placing ourselves outside of our comfort zone, because really the growth and everything that you want always sits outside of a comfort zone. Always.
And the rewards are from the growth, not just the money. the money, that's not where our sense of fulfillment is coming from right now. It's just been the little wins along the way, just the, I don't know, little things that have happened that have been fortunate and wonderful, and you know, we want to reach a lot of people. We want to make a difference to you know, helping people who really just need a leg up. That's our end goal. Our end goal is to really get, you know, some charitable work going on. And I've been in contact with social housing quite frequently. I think they think I'm a bit of a crazy lady, but that's okay. One day they'll hand me a whole lot of houses to do up, and you know, we have big dreams and some end goals, and we won't rest until we get there.
Love it. So what would you say if you had one specific tip or some advice for someone who is really stuck? They might be in their first year of business and they just really can't seem to find their groove, but they still have this big dream and passion. What would you say to them?
It's just to keep going. Belinda said to me a few weeks ago, oh, if it hadn't have been for you here and there, I just would have given up. And there's been times where I ring her. I think having both of us has been great. There's been times where I ring her and somebody hasn't paid an invoice or something like that, and I'm grumpy. And so I think we really just bounce off each other and keep going. But it's the keeping going that's important, whether you've got somebody to bounce off, a friend, a business mentor, if you need to go to YouTube and listen to Tony Robbins, whatever it takes, just to keep on going. Because eventually, if you're heartfelt, you do the right thing by people all of the time, and you just keep looking for that next step and that next step, it will just all unfold.
Beautiful.
Those simple steps that the marketers say, technically there's a lot in every step, but they're correct. They're just correct. Follow the simple steps.
Thank
not
you
easy
so
steps.
much for sharing that. Yes, thank you so much for sharing that, because I think it's a very potent message, and one that someone who might be struggling right now is really, really ready to receive. So to wrap up today, if someone wanted to get in touch with you guys, where can they find you?
On www.ohm, which is OOHM.com.au, or if you just Google the two Belindas, we're all over it.
And we will definitely
we come up here and there.
Great. And we will be sharing all the links on the blog designbylive.com.au, and also on this YouTube clip underneath the video recording. So thank you so much, Belinda. This has been such a juicy and amazing chat. I really loved your take on how you see the world, and also this incredibly challenging area of renovation, and just how much heart and kindness you bring in with both yourself and your business partner, Belinda. So thank you for being here, and I guess we'll chat to you next time.
Thank you so much for having me. You go get them.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.